It's time to listen to BHR with your hosts, Patrick and Paul.
Oh my gosh, I have to show you guys this bullshit.
Okay.
Oh man. So I was on a website last night and I'm always into like my spiritual, you know, my hippie ass bullshit.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm on this Indigo Children site.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so an indigo child is apparently a child that's sent here to change the world. You know, that's basically the point of it. So I get on here and I start looking at all of these memes they have. Okay, so the first one I see
Oh, no. I get that feeling.
is, unless you cannot treat her as an equal, unless you can accept the fact that you can be penetrated too and learn to enjoy and appreciate it. Real. And these people underneath this, they're talking about how their reasons why. This is it.
Hold on.
There's the first.
But this just comes down to personal preference. Like, that shouldn't be something everybody has to
Enjoy
widely
and
accept.
appreciate.
I'm sorry. I have Crohn's disease. I've had plenty of fingers and cameras shoved up my ass, and you do not have to enjoy anything.
The next one is sending a dick pic. Oh, sending a woman a dick pic is rape. It's rape.
Holy shit.
Never heard that before.
That one,
It's a
okay.
historical fact.
Could you-
Jesus
could you
was
imagine
gay
if they were-
and black.
What?
It's a historical fact that Jesus is gay and black. And then
Wait, are these just things people find funny, or are they taking this shit seriously?
They were into it. They believed it. This was a belief. Like, I should add you guys to the page. I definitely should look it up, because then
I
Then
would
this
probably
is-
try and
this is the
troll that
next
page
one.
and get kicked off immediately.
Are these like the same people that are telling you that
So-
there's more than just two genders?
Right now, this immediately makes me think
I've
of like
read
the
something
social
about
justice
that
warrior.
how
recently.
it's
Like,
dehumanizing
yeah.
to not sleep with somebody. That one's talking about how it's dehumanizing
Oh, I'm
not
sure
to
there's
sleep
flat
with
earthers in
somebody
that
that's
group, too.
HIV positive. How you need to sleep with people that are HIV positive because you make them feel bad if you don't fuck them.
Well,
Their feelings are gonna get hurt.
What?
Monogamy is a tool of oppression. One man cannot satisfy all of a woman's needs. Emotional support.
What? The,
That's
Physical. Financial.
that's crazy.
They were totally into it, you guys, though. Yeah, no, it was hilarious.
Yep.
Those are my
Wow.
funnies. That was my 10
I
p.m.
can't even wrap my head around the stupidity there.
There's people that believe in the flat Earth. That's where anything can happen. Anything can happen.
I think the Hollow Earth is kind of cool. I think
find-
that
like,
theory is
I've-
interesting. I will
found-
go with that.
I've read it, and it's fun. It's fun.
I would
It's
love
like
to
reading
try.
Harry Potter.
I would love to
Oh,
try.
like-
I hate Harry
But
Potter.
but to
What?
explain how
Oh,
like
Logan
everything
Rice.
works, doesn't the Earth have to have a fucking magma core, like a hot iron core, like to explain all of our magnetism and everything?
Well, yeah, your electromagnetic field that goes around the Earth.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a
It
fundamental
goes
part.
in, right?
Yeah.
It's supposed to, and there's something supposed to be inside there. That's where I want to vacay.
The center of the earth.
Center of the Earth.
I'm assuming it's warm.
Well, there's a
It's
Just a-
supposed
just
to be
a little bit,
beautiful.
though.
Isn't there books
There's-
that's been
there's
written on it
a,
and people that have said they've gone there?
I mean, it seems like as time goes on, people are believing more and more radical shit. I mean, everybody is like, it's okay to be spiritual, right? But to like chemtrails. Have you guys heard of that?
I fell for that
Yeah.
for a while.
But it's like, no, that's science. That's science. You're condensing the air. You're condensing the liquid inside of the air, and so you form mini fucking clouds when you're in a jet. Like a jet engine forces so much. It's so much force on the air that all of the moisture in the air creates a cloud. And it's like, nope, it's chemtrails, guys.
Science is awesome. Sometimes I believe the science is just wrong.
Yeah.
I feel like who are we getting our science information from as well?
But that's the beauty of science is you can fact check it, and if it is wrong, then you
Right.
scrap it and you start over.
Right. Exactly. That's like the whole point of science is to steadily fact check itself. Like a lot of people have issues with quantum physics and like how that actually pertains to things. And it's like, well,
I see
because
it in
most people
everything.
don't understand what that like they don't know. Well, and then like it's good that you read it and that you enjoy reading like about the theories and stuff, but the actual mechanics and the mathematics underneath it that prove that this is true. Like I have the Heisenberg uncertainty principle tattooed on me, which is one of the fundamental aspects of quantum physics. Basically, what it says is the more accurate you are on like where something is, then you can't tell how fast it's going, or vice versa. So you can say with 100% certainty that an electron goes the speed of light, but you would have no fucking clue where it's at. It could be anywhere in the universe. I mean, so that's like, and that's just basic. That's the basic math side of it. But I think that's where that concept of people not trusting the scientists, because it really is mind blowing. Like, you're like, what? But it's like, nope, mathematically you can prove it to be true.
But also the coolest thing about our Earth is that people get to believe whatever.
It's true.
That's real, and that's just always going to be exactly what they believe, and that's always how it's going to work out for them.
And
everyone needs something to believe in.
True. Well,
wrong or
not everybody needs something, but some people do, and that's fine.
Right. Yeah, no, exactly.
Wrong or right, whatever way they perceive it, or their experiences that predispose them to thinking that way.
The issue arises when a person that believes something really out there has power, though. That's where things can really get messed up. Yeah. I mean, there's all different types of examples of that, where it's like a belief system where it's like, okay, somebody didn't really stop them at the door. They got through. Yeah. They got through security, and now they're in power. Like, nobody's like, well, I think Stalin's a little bit fucking crazy, guys. No.
With him. Nobody tell him that. Don't tell him. Don't let him know.
No.
I feel like those people probably just had shitty friends. Like,
right.
No really good friends that were like, bro, I think you're a little out of check.
Yeah.
What you're doing right now.
Yeah. No, I mean, so that's why, like, I'm all for people believing whatever they want to believe, but don't run for political office if you believe in some real out there shit. You probably shouldn't be president if you believe in the flat earth. Like,
well, at the same time, though, like, you think about the people, when they first proposed the earth was round.
Yeah.
It's the exact opposite of what you're seeing now. Like, we think flat earthers are stupid. They thought that the people that proposed the earth was round were fucking morons.
Now, see, the issue there is that it's a common misconception that people believed that the earth was flat in like the 1300s. It was actually a Greek scientist back 2,000 years ago called Eratosthenes in the city of Alexandria that he was the one that figured out that the earth was round 2,000 years ago. And what he did is any type of pole in the ground, when you watch it for they were bored. They didn't have TVs. They didn't have computers. When you watch a pole in the ground for a long period of time, you see it start to change. Now, if you have multiple poles all right next to each other, you're going to notice a difference between the shadows on each one. It'll be a small degree difference. So he took that idea and blew it up. He's like, what if I have a pole in this city and a pole in that city, and me and my friend have these big sand hourglasses, and at the same time, we measure where the shadow is at. Where, like, is there going to be a difference? And so they did that, and there was a difference. It was about 7-degree difference between the two cities. So then once you have that, what you have is the beginning of what's called an arc length. So just think of that as, like, the curvature of this part of our microphone here. You just have a tiny bit, and then you're like, well, wait, we can figure out how many of these things it takes to go around the Earth. And back then, they were actually ridiculously correct as far as the circumference of the Earth. 2,000 years ago.
Well, and when we were talking about doing a podcast about flat earthers, we looked into their ideologies and tried to, see how far off they really were. And even just looking at that map.
Yeah.
They had, their map of how the Earth works just completely distorts everything. Like, if you just even think about it as simple as, like, flight times and stuff. Yep. Like, it makes no sense whatsoever.
Yep. And the sun has to be 36 miles across. Or no, 36 miles away for this to work. Like,
for the map to work?
For the flat Earth to work. Yeah. So that the sun is here, and like if this was the flat Earth, right? The sun is right here. Like, that's how close it is.
To keep everything living.
And then the moon is over here. And they go around in a circle.
So the Earth, the Earth is still a circle. Mm-hmm. It's just not a sphere. And there's no north or south pole. The entire outer ridge is all ice.
Yeah, the ice wall, the great ice wall that the UN guards so nobody can get over and fall off of the edge of the Earth. Yeah.
But they believed it.
people believe that right now.
These are maps that were made recently.
That's something that's almost beautiful,
That
though,
is-
that blind faith.
It's cool, but I don't want you as my boss.
No, but someone does.
Like if you're telling me
Someone out there that's
if
all
you're
for it.
telling me what to do, it's like I don't know if I can trust you on that, you know. And it's the really what I think it boils down to is facts versus feelings, right? That we can't hurt people's feelings with our facts.
No.
And it's like, well, but it's facts. They're unavoidable. Like you just cannot get around them, and people get really butthurt when all you do is just be like, well, no, it's a fact. Like people, like I'm overweight. We're like most of us here are overweight, except for probably Kasey. I don't know. Well, yeah. but like when somebody makes a comment that morbid obesity is a bad thing, right? Like. That is a 100% fact. It's the number one killer in the United States. Over 300,000 people die every year. It kills more people than cigarettes. And how many ads do you see where it's anti-smoking?
Plenty.
But if you're telling me that cigarettes are bad, I already know cigarettes are bad, and I'm not gonna take it personally.
Right. Yep.
But that's where you
because
get into it.
That's because you're stronger than a lot of people out there. I feel like that's a big problem, is that people keep trying to force their beliefs on other people instead of just taking it as it comes.
Right.
There's a way to like say something to a person and you're like, okay, I see, I understand. All anyone wants is just an understanding.
Right.
That's all it's about.
Here we go. I got a good one because it kind of like it goes back to what we were talking about with like feelings versus facts, right? So, what do you okay? Like this isn't what I'm gonna spearhead it with, but like, what do you guys think about the whole trans movement, right? Like, or like the gender assignment.
Real life, I think we're making a big deal out of some bullshit that who really fucking cares.
Right.
I feel like they're just giving us something else to think about, so we don't do anything really cool.
That's absolutely ridiculous.
Right.
Yeah.
So, see, but it kind of still goes into that whole, it's their feelings. So how can you argue against their feelings? Like we can't cherry pick what feelings we protect and which ones we don't, unless we go off of facts.
I can tell you right now that I can walk my ass into a male restroom with my son and let him go potty, and not a man in there says anything.
Right.
And if a father walked into a female restroom with his daughter, I would not blink an eye.
So
that's real.
So I wanted to kind of get you guys prepped for this next thing, because now the latest thing. She was a Harvard professor. She also was one of the head. She led one of the divisions of the NAACP, I think. And they thought that she was African American. She labeled herself as African American, and she was white as fuck. She was a white girl. No, that's like you're no.
Oh, she personally labeled herself.
Was she?
She labeled.
Colorblind?
She put herself down. She put herself down as being black, right? She led She dyed her hair. She like got perms. Yeah. To kind of
Dark
make her.
makeup?
Yeah.
Like you're the old man.
Yep. Exactly. And then they found pictures of her when she was 13, and she's a ginger. Like. Okay.
Right.
But now she is saying that she identifies as black.
I think
Let her be.
Like,
Seriously.
But-
Where are the black people to like stand behind this woman? Are they?
I don't
Opening
know.
her, embracing her?
I would hope not.
What? No?
Fuck no.
She wants to be like you. What a compliment. There's people in Africa that skin bleach themselves. Like they pay money to do that and bleach their whole bodies. It's a thing.
But it's still like it doesn't change your genetic racial makeup.
Yeah.
Like
But who the fuck cares
because
what she
they
wants
do
to
it, and then
be?
she wants to talk about how she's oppressed and how that's bullshit.
yep.
She's
That she wants. Yep.
She doesn't come from a long line of ancestors that were oppressed or that anything like that. She just wants the attention, and she wants to sit there and piss and moan about it for no reason except to have somebody to listen to.
Yep. See, and that's where I'm with on it. Like it's.
There's something seriously wrong in the head with people like that.
People, okay, yeah, she might be being dramatic. She might be she's looking for attention, but look what we're giving her.
Right. She
We're
gets it.
giving
She
her
gets
exactly what she wants. So why
she's
doesn't
still
everybody
doing it.
just say, fuck it? If you want to be black, be black. We're going to go do something cool.
Right.
Instead of giving her exactly what she wants.
This world's made a habit out of making stupid people famous.
Right.
And it's
Well, but see, like, Kasey, you kind of hit on it with like your with ancestors being oppressed, right? So we've created a society where there's mechanisms to try and help out with people that have like where throughout history they've been wronged, right? And one of the parts of that mechanism is like race, right? Like we try to help out the different races in the United States, and we try to make it all fair. But when you have people in other races bouncing between races and what you're putting down on legal documents, like then you're playing a dangerous game.
What if you I'm mostly Norwegian, but I'm Lebanese.
Yeah.
Like, what's to stop me for checking that on something? Because I'm not full? Like, you know what I
no,
mean?
you're supposed you could totally do it.
Can
actually.
I always? You can always do that, but you
Yeah.
can look at me and assume that. Like, there's nothing in her that her ancestors have ever been African.
Right, but then now she's dressing herself.
She's going full blackface.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
something
yeah.
wrong with that.
Yeah.
If you gotta lie and make it look like you're black when you're really not,
Yeah.
and then you want to go ahead and be a part. What did you say? She was leading a part of the NCAA?
She was.
Oh,
Yeah, she
are
was.
we talking about that dumb bitch at the end of the
There's something wrong with that.
Yeah. Yep.
Chicken for the bathroom.
Well, and like yeah, you said like there's something wrong in the head. Like to me, it's like, well, let's just say, hey, you have a mental disorder. Sorry that hurts your feelings, but right now, you want to basically appropriate somebody else's race. Like, I mean,
I don't think anyone's really stopped and told them and tell them the fact that you can't do that. It's wrong. So they're going to keep doing it until someone's
any different. Like they will do what they want to do no matter what.
oh, when you try to tell people like that facts, they will argue with you, and it's like, well, no, like, sorry, like you're not black.
Well, and you can't force an opinion on anybody that doesn't want to hear it. So for as long as this
Your race
woman
isn't an
lives-
opinion, though.
But, like,
you're white.
That is a fact.
That's my opinion, Kasey. You're white. I'm sorry. Like,
well.
That's real though. Like no matter what you do to this lady, as long as that's where her heart's at, like it's not right. It's not. But like, is it really hurting something? Is she hurting stuff?
see,
What is she
Hurting
doing
if
wrong
she's
though? Like is she
face
doing?
of the NAACP? That's what's wrong with it. The fact that they didn't fact check it and they thought this lady was...
The fact that she even made it
But
there.
is she doing a good job? Like, is she getting shit done and, like, succeeding at her position? Is that why she's, like, fighting this? Because she, like, really does have a passion and wants to help? Or...
But that's part of the problem.
First off, what's the N fucking double C-A-P?
NAACP.
Y-M-C-A-M-O-B? What is it?
the National Association.
That's color people.
Yep.
Okay, see.
Thank you for
White.
finishing that up.
White, I
Yeah.
have no idea. But,
If she's as white as the pure driven snow and she wants to put on dark makeup and run around prancing around.
Yeah, what was she doing?
that's
Like just
fucked
fake
up.
tanning and
Yeah.
There's, like, rub-on stuff you can do.
Mm-hmm.
like that bronzing shit.
It wasn't that much trouble to make your hair.
Yeah, how
be-
expensive would that be? You probably go through a bottle of that every day, making sure you're covered from head to toe.
But, like, the opposite people do, too, though.
See,
I know, but there's something wrong with that too.
so like, my like. The impacts, the societal impacts right now might not be observable, but fast forward 20 years, and that's something that's just, it's okay to do in society, then that's when we might actually see some things being like, this is kind of going haywire, some things are a little bit messed up.
Already
I don't,
haywire.
oh, exactly, no, yeah.
What, kind of like a calm before the storm kind of thing?
Right, no, exactly.
Squat all day. That big butt thing's in.
It is.
Everyone wants that booty.
But I mean, see, like, and so us up here, I still feel like no matter some of the most liberal people that grew up in North Dakota are still really conservative when it comes to outside of this state.
Yeah, I bring that up in our podcast all the time. That like we're kind of in a little bubble.
We're kind of an
A
exception.
lot of the topics that we talk about and the things we're touching on, you don't see that here from day to day.
Yeah.
Like the social justice warriors, even Dapple, you never really saw a lot of that over here.
Not in
And that
Williston,
was
no.
what 200 something miles away.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, there was like, I think at its peak there was like 20,000 people there or something like
Yeah,
that.
and
Did
we
ever
never
go,
noticed
Do you
it.
guys ever go see?
No,
No.
I
No, I
had
never
I had
see it.
friends
I
that
always
were in
kind
the
of wanted to,
PD
but I'm
that
like,
went
wow,
there.
there's a picture. It's Newtown with people on top.
Right.
That's how I felt about it. The people moved into Newtown again.
It's it's different for those who are here than it is for people who aren't here.
Yeah.
It
Yep.
really is.
But like we've just kind of grown up in a bubble, though. I mean, this last summer, I don't know, like I did that internship for for the government, and they brought college students from all over the country to South Dakota. And first off, they thought it was flat in the Black Hills, mind you. But we were driving around in a neighborhood, and there was a dad and a son in the front yard, and the dad was showing his son how to operate a rifle. Like, you could tell, it's like there's a rifle, he's like pointing at things. Everybody in my vehicle lost their shit because there was a gun. They're like, we need to get out of this neighborhood. It's dangerous.
Oh my god.
Like, I mean, it's like, I'm dead serious. They went into a total panicked state that there was a kid with a gun. I mean, that's what some people are like. A lot of the country is like that.
That's so weird to me, because I mean, I grew up around guns. All of us did. I mean, you grew up around people with guns.
Terrified of a gun. Do I love guns? No.
Yeah.
If I wanted one, I always wanted like an old prostitute-looking one with like the
little
brass.
Derringer.
Yeah, one of those.
Like the little pea shooter.
Yeah, that's like my dream gun. I have a dream gun.
Like the one, like the one
You would
from
have
Bad
to-
Boys.
You'd have
That
to
I
get
could
like
put-
6
that I
inches
could
four
away.
put
barrels.
my
I
little-
hope it doesn't just.
The-
I could spin it.
The
It'd just be cute. Yeah.
6-shooter?
I don't know.
Well, Derringer.
That's what I mean. I have no idea, but you guys can see it. I know I can
Yeah.
see it. It's beautiful.
the Abe Lincoln killer.
I know
Yeah.
in Colorado, what you can't have if you are have your pot card, you can't even own a gun, right? Like if
I
you have
don't
your
know.
medical marijuana card, I'm pretty sure you are not allowed to own.
I'm curious
A
to see
firearm.
what, because the bill has been
Are you
sort of
Googling
fixed now
No,
for the medical marijuana here in North Dakota. Congress or whoever was trying to like redo the bill, and they were going to take smoking off of there. It was only going to be oils and I think edibles, something like that. Oils and pills, I think. And now it looks like they're going to have the smoking on there too. But I'm curious to see if they'll have something like that in the legislation about not being able to own a gun.
it's like, yeah.
You can't do that in the state of North Dakota. You can't.
Well, in the state of North Dakota, like if you have clinical depression, you can't own a gun.
Yeah, it says medical marijuana users do not have the right to bear arms in California. Washington Post said an appeals court ruled last week. Yeah, they're not allowed to.
Yeah, I don't know, that's nuts. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, so it's either, I mean, you can cure a disease that you have, or you can't protect
I'm
yourself.
saying you can't have a crossbow.
You can't have a
Even if
crossbow.
you're a
How's your
felon, you can
accuracy?
archery.
That's the only thing I want right now is a
Everything
crossbow.
but a rifle.
Well, and I think
Fire.
North Dakota must be pretty lenient because my dad was a felon in Minnesota, and
After-
he was allowed to have a gun and hunt and stuff here.
After like 7 years, I think you can get it annexed or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Just wiped off your record.
Depends on your felony.
My dad got royally fucked in Minnesota. They changed their law back in 2006, I think. But it was the same here. After 7 years, a felon, if they stayed out of trouble, they could have a gun again. So my dad every year went bear hunting in Minnesota. And one night he wrecked his truck, and the cops found the guns in there, and they're like, well, we changed the law back in 2006, 2007, and you are being charged with felony gun charges right now.
They didn't grandfather him in.
He should have been.
He got in trouble so he had to go through a whole huge mess of court shit because he had guns in the vehicle, and he was a felon. But he's like, I've been getting a bear hunting license here. Why didn't anybody say, oh no, you can't get a hunting license?
Going through it,
Like,
yeah.
I don't understand why there's a gap there between the hunting system and the gun owning system.
Could you imagine
like they go hand in hand?
Just kill it with his bare hands.
Yeah,
He's
can
a real
you imagine
man.
if there actually wasn't a gap? Like, whoever sold it to him saw that he couldn't own guns, but he was buying a bear license. It's like, man, this guy's a badass.
Yeah, he's just gonna go out there and start fucking fist fucking bears.
Your dad is a bear, okay?
Yeah. I haven't seen him in years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your dad practically is a bear. I'm sure they've seen him and like, yeah, Rambo's going out there.
You should see the image of your father I have in my head right now. I couldn't tell you what
Just
your
a
dad
big
looks
tough
like.
biker dude with his Santa Claus beard.
Yep. Bear blood on his hands.
Bear
Right.
blood.
Yep, right.
Yeah.
He just went out there and killed a bear with his bare hands.
But no, so like, kind of bringing it back to what we were talking about with the whole transracial issue that's going on, transgender issue. I mean, it's feelings versus facts. Like, when you have scientific evidence of like, hey, this is what it is, and somebody's like, I believe it's different. It's like, well, there's an issue there because there's facts and there's beliefs. We need to allow a gap between those two things, that some things that are beliefs are not facts, and some things that are facts aren't beliefs.
Yeah, beliefs should never overpower facts.
some
That's
people.
what religion's based on.
That's real, yeah.
Turning a blind eye to what you have.
I
and
mean,
saying,
for
"This is right."
the most part, they try and keep them separate, but
Yeah.
religion still does play a huge part in the government.
Oh yeah.
Huge.
Yep. I don't think we've ever elected anybody that's an atheist. That's like a declared
They wouldn't
atheist.
openly state it.
Not
even
that
if they
I
were.
know of.
They
Yeah.
lie their way through it.
Oh,
You
I
have
get.
to be career suicide to say I don't believe in anything.
If you,
Nobody does.
I
I
do
don't
not for one
believe
second
in
believe that
anything.
Trump believes
you're
in
not
anything.
alone.
I am an atheist 100%. So
Um,
I'm saying that.
yep.
I was
I-
raised Lutheran,
my-
and I'll never raise my kids that way.
Yeah, I was raised the same way, and I just kind of grew out of it. I could not tell you the exact moment when I was like,
Just
this doesn't make
Right.
sense.
It
I just kind of
happens.
like,
You're
yeah, I
like,
just
you know what?
No.
This doesn't make sense.
I know the exact day where I'm like, yeah, I'm done. I was 8 years old in Sunday school with Jamie Shad, and me and Jamie are sitting next to each other, and Jamie starts asking a bunch of questions to the Sunday school teacher, and the Sunday school teacher gets so pissed off that he kicks Jamie out of Sunday school, and that was the day where I'm like, I'm not coming back here anymore. Like, no,
I had to. I was forced. I did the whole shebang.
you know,
Yeah.
Just see,
For
I went to
mom,
Catholic
for dad.
school from 2nd grade all the way through 6th.
ooh,
And yeah,
Catholics
so,
are fun.
And growing up with that for most of my life, when I was younger, I was like, yeah, that's the way it is. And then as I got older, it's like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like, not everything in that Bible can be true.
Yeah.
It's just like, fuck that. It's not fun to believe.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't feel good, believing some of that stuff day after day
No,
after
I
Being
day.
forced to believe that stuff.
Catholicism, I feel like just even being an outsider, it looks like the worst because being a Catholic, you look at Catholics and they're just fucking afraid of everything. They're just angry.
The
They hate
rosaries are
everyone.
cool.
Well,
Rosaries are really cool, though.
That is the
The
one good
rosaries
thing about
are
the
cool.
Catholic
We all
Church.
think that's great. That's real.
Like, growing up, I was just like, I started realizing over time, I was like, that can't not be true. I believe what I believe in. and-
yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. As long as you never push your beliefs on me, I will never tell you that you
no.
can't believe what you believe.
Yeah.
No.
I think
That's when I lose my shit.
my favorite saying is religion's like having a penis. It's fine to have it, just don't shove it down my throat.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
I just believe in what I believe in for myself. I don't go like,
See,
that's not right. No, I can't do that to
Blasphemy.
people. You just can't.
that's one thing that I do like about our society. Like, as it's going on, more people have personal beliefs, and that's good. Like, it's good to like keep it to yourself. And we see people moving away from like institutionalized religion. And really, what it is, like, to me, like, people that have personal beliefs, like, because I'm an atheist, it's like, you're just a good person. That's what I boil it down to. Then it's like, nope, you're just a good person. There's nothing different about you. But like the institutionalized religious people, those are to me those are the creepy ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the main times I ever got in an argument with somebody about religion, I let myself get triggered. He was talking with somebody, and he was complaining about a school in like Virginia or North Carolina, somewhere on the East Coast, where they wouldn't allow Christmas decorations, but it was a public school. And I said, I think that's right. It's a public school.
Christianity.
Like, if the students want to, petition it, then let them. But because it's a public school, there's no reason that they should have one specific religion's holiday in their school.
Yep.
And he just went off. I mean, somehow out of that, he figured out I was an atheist and started like trying to be like, how can I convert you and all this stuff. I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
well, how
Yep.
can I convert you?
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to make me change my
There
beliefs,
ain't no saving me.
and I'm not going to ask
Yep.
you to change yours.
No.
I feel like Catholics just have this insatiable mission just to convert everyone.
Mm-hmm.
It's just too much. I can't do it.
It's really interesting. So like I know a lot of the history about like the Catholic Church. So like the reason why Martin Luther even went out and complained in the first place is a thing called indulgences. The Catholic Church back in during that time period, you could basically buy like the washing of your sins, where like all of your sins go away if you pay so much to the church, no matter what
So it's like
you did.
the American judicial system.
Pretty much anymore. Yeah, there's a lot of that. Money will buy you a good lawyer, and a good lawyer will get you out of anything. But yeah, no, I mean, like, they would just go around because they were like, hey, we want to build this really cool building. Go sell some indulgences. Okay, cool. And Martin Luther's like, that's kind of bullshit. Like, it was the differences between the Catholic doctrine and what's in the Bible. Because there's things that are in the doctrine that aren't in the Bible, where it's like there's some discrepancies between the two. And all he did is he had a 99, I think 99, 98, I can't remember. He put his thesis out on the church door. And what it was just pointing out every single thing that the Catholics like believed in that where it wasn't in the Bible. And that's how the whole thing started. I mean, you had to have like kings protecting Martin Luther because of that. Otherwise, they were just gonna like go and hang him up or burn him at the stake. Like,
Dang.
Well, and that makes me think of like, versus how all religions like not all, I guess, because there's certain ones that are still off the wall, but how most modern day religions practice is they don't follow their book. But at the same time, it's like, well, how can I take you seriously if this book is supposed to be the basis of your beliefs, but now after so much time you're like, we can do away with that.
They pick and choose.
Yeah, you can't take any of that seriously if they're not going to either stick by it or throw the whole thing out the window.
Right. Here's another little fun fact for you. Like, to this day, we have a day, like at least once a year, because of the Catholic Church. Friday the 13th is completely because of the Catholic Church.
I heard about that. I didn't get too much into it, though.
So, back then, during the Crusades, you had the Knights Templar, right? It was kind of like a separated military unit of the church, right? Like, they were kept separate. There was the church and then the Knights Templar. Well, the Knights Templar became so powerful, right? And they were so renowned that people started to follow what the Knights Templar said over what the church was saying. Like, people were like, yeah, no, the Knights Templar are saying something different, so we're not going to listen to you guys because they're way more cooler.
A scarier force.
Yeah, like they were very powerful. So what the Pope did is issue it's called a papal bull, an order, a holy order, pretty much where they say it's like the word of God, and ordered the assassination of every single Knights Templar on Friday the 13th. So when one day, all across Europe, every single knight was executed. I mean,
Wow.
I totally believe that.
So how does that
It's
translate into
believable.
how we look at it today? Is it like a bad luck thing?
because of like how powerful the Knights Templar were. Like they were the spear of the Catholic Church, and so it's like we took something good and got rid of it. So it's like bad luck in a sense. It's like trading Babe Ruth, you know, like yeah.
Yep.
No, so yeah, I mean, like there's still so many impacts just embedded into our culture of religion that
It'll never go away.
no.
Even as far as Monday through Sunday.
Right.
I think eventually, I read something the other day that said that we just were on the cusp of our first scientific revolution, right? We're just on our way to our second.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like after that really happens and people actually start believing more of like the quantum
Mm-hmm.
physics of life and sees
Yep.
things from that direction, I think religion will it's gonna be done.
I think
That's
you're
how
gonna
I
see.
think.
I think you're gonna see a lot of protesting against it.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Do you know much about the Large Hadron Collider?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many propaganda videos on YouTube against it, just because for just a split second, when when the two atoms collide, it creates a black hole for like just split second.
It has no. It has the potential to.
I thought they
create it.
actually have had that happen.
They have but it's not every single time that they do it.
But because of that, people are creating these videos saying that it's going to create this black hole that's going to be, it's going to slowly take over the whole planet.
Well, yeah, with all that energy, you guys are going to focus on that black hole. It's you little assholes that are going to make the black hole show up.
Well, and like the big issue there is like what they were calling this particle that they were searching for was the God particle.
Yeah, I've seen that.
That's why people were like, why are you calling it what? This is against religion. It's like, well, no, they call it that because what they were trying to find, oh my gosh, what was it?
When
the Higgs boson.
Yeah, when did they
were trying to-
officially discover that? Wasn't it like 2011?
Yeah, yep. They were trying to find the Higgs boson, and what that is actually just like a little chip off of the Higgs field. So, okay, I'll explain what the Higgs field is.
I've read about the Higgs field.
So, I think of the Higgs field as like a pool full of Jell-O. So, like, we can explain all different types of things in science, like there's such thing as mass, that we all have weight, right? Mass, and then whatever gravitational body you're on, you have weight. There is density, like it's like, okay, mass per volume, so in an area, right? So, but what is mass? Like how physics, with quantum physics, what is mass? And the Higgs field, what it is your resistance pushing through a Higgs field. So that's what mass is. Like, that's why we are massive. So think of a bowling ball going through a pool full of Jell-O, and that would be like the Earth going through the Higgs field. That there's that resistance, and whatever resistance that you get, that's your mass. That's the mass of whatever object that it is, and it's everywhere. It's really cool. So what we did with the Large Hadron Collider is we broke it. Like, we took a chip off of it by speeding up two particles up near the speed of light and crashing them together. And just boom, broke a little piece off. Oh, there's the Higgs boson. What did it tell us? Well, it was right in the middle, so we don't really know. Like, yeah,
But we'll figure it out. Like, that's what I think is the coolest thing. It's like, that's progress. Like, that's cool that people are actually even considering it and putting their attention and their focus on thinking about something that big and that far out there.
See, what I'm afraid of is that we're really adopting the whole feelings over facts thing as a society, especially in the United States. And most of the coolest inventions throughout history have been here, in my opinion. And so what we're seeing is this rise in the people that want to take care of other people's feelings over facts. And so you have two different groups forming, where scientists are all in one group, and like knowledge is over here, and then feelings is over here. And I think eventually there's going to be a massive clash.
I think there's positive and negative feelings, though.
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe, I wouldn't say all feelings are in the feelings section. I think there's some bullshit feelings over there.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of the really intelligent, knowledgeable minds, like, are in that enlightened, knowledgeable section of people.
Yeah.
I don't know, because there's right and wrong, and you can feel it. You know what I mean? That's why when, like, you say when people talk about, I don't know, the whole transgender thing, like, it kind of pulls at your heartstrings, because you can put yourself in that person's position.
Empathy.
Yeah, that empathy, you know what I mean? And that's what makes us a good person. But factual, like,
Yeah.
I don't know, do transgender people rape people in bathrooms? Like, is that something
If
that
they're
happens?
going to do that, they're going to do that no matter what bathroom.
That's what I mean,
A
right?
rapist is going to go wherever they feel like they can.
Does
Right.
their race matter? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think rapists matter. Maybe we should not let rapists out of jail anymore. Maybe we should just kill them.
Right.
If you
Honestly-
rape someone, you're dead.
Yeah.
To touch on that bathroom thing, honestly, if you make all bathrooms fucking a single unisex bathroom, that would solve the whole problem.
Done.
Oh, here was one thing I thought
I would
of
love to
earlier
poop
today
next to you
about
guys in a stall.
the whole transgender and like gender issues thing is, when are they going to attack Batman and Superman and Spider-Man? When is it going to be like inappropriate for those to have their names where it's like, we can't call him Batman anymore? Like,
I will lose it.
I will do so.
Bat person.
I saw this thing. It was on that stupid Indigo site that I was on, and it was saying how you shouldn't have your kids dress up as superheroes because it makes them like superior. It gives them a superiority complex at 4, and that you cannot buy those kind of outfits for your kids.
What if
without
they're
making
not
them
white?
that way. Fuck, why are they even trick-or-treating? They're not white. They should be on the street past 9 o'clock.
Those are the kind of parents that got participation awards.
Yeah.
They've never been good enough to win anything. And
I
they're
love
mad
my
about it.
participation awards. I love them.
Well, there's a way that you could do the participation award and make it not
them
devalue winning.
Yeah.
You need to make sure that the winning
winners
group
get
still
something
has
back.
a real like trophy, and then the participation.
Don't give
I
everybody
don't
the
know.
same ribbon.
Don't give everybody the same thing. If you're gonna do the participation thing, give the participation a fucking
At
like
least
coin,
you
like, hey, I
tried.
participated, and then give the winners a fucking first place trophy.
Yeah.
I loved my ribbon just as much as my friends love their trophy. So I had that shit hanging up on my wall, and my friends are like, "What's it for?" And I'm like, "I played in basketball." Didn't you get one? Didn't you get one?
That's fine, but if you went undefeated all year and you want the first place trophy, and
There
instead
is no
you
first
all
place.
get, all you get is a ribbon that says
I would quit.
good for participating along with everybody
It
else.
kills the competitive part of it.
Have you guys been
Because
to like a
everybody's
Little
gonna
League
have the same
baseball
thing.
game?
That's real. I agree. 100%.
Like, I remember playing Little League baseball, and they kept score. Like, that's when I grew up. They're like, hey, okay, they're 1 point, 2 point. Like, I mean, they kept score.
Yeah.
Now they don't. They don't keep score. I'm like, and then even if you get 3 strikes, you're not out.
What?
Yes.
You get hit.
My son started softball this year, and that's exactly how it was. There wasn't like a set amount of kids on his team. They just threw a group of kids together. They didn't learn to play positions. Like the whole group of them, when they were out in the field, the whole group of them went out there. There was like 12 kids out in the field,
Standing around.
and then when they were up to bat, no matter if they had 3 outs or not, every kid got to bat once, and they did not keep track of score.
Wade Boggs would be pissed.
Camden, he got bored with it because he actually wanted to play competitively. He's only 6, and the kid's super competitive. And he just didn't want to go because it wasn't fun.
Have we petitioned anyone though? Have we as like parents taken a step and been like, "Hey, you guys,"
I see. I think
We just
the
took him
other-
out and we're going
This
to let him play baseball when he's old enough.
when it comes up? Yeah, I know, but sometimes I feel like maybe the people don't know what the people actually want.
See, but then like
They
you'll be hurting people's feelings though.
Yeah.
That's where and like
That's
see,
where that ties into this whole
Yeah.
conversation that Paul's been trying to have. Is
Feelings
feeling versus fact.
Well, but like I mean,
Maybe you should parent better.
so like have all of us played in a sport at one time or another?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like when you lost, you felt bad, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And like that was part of why you wanted to do better. You're like, okay,
Or
I'm gonna
quit.
do better.
I was a quitter.
But if you lose and it doesn't matter, where's the motivation to do better?
Right.
There is none.
Because there was people that far exceeded my skills. Like, you know what? When I did really shitty in dance, it wasn't because, like, I wasn't supposed to be a ballerina.
Right.
Guess what? Like, at 4, I
No.
thought dance sucked.
Exactly.
My cousin,
No.
she went to be one of the best. Lindy, she was great. She was always in all of these ballerina shows. She had all the trophies and ribbons. And, like, yeah, it kind of sucked because I was a shitty dancer. But I'm a really cool person. And I got a participation ribbon on my wall. So,
But
I mean...
okay, so seeing her doing better, did that make you want to try harder, or did that kill your motivation?
It killed my motivation, but I think the thing that we don't focus on teaching people is that, like, it's not about me.
Right.
Like, it's not always about me. And as a young kid, like, that's something that your parent doesn't, I mean, they can look at you and say that, but at the same time, it's like, obviously, this thing's for her. You
Right.
know, it's about
Yeah, yeah.
her. You need to embrace
And I was
that
going
and
to say, there's
celebrate
an
that.
argument you can get from that. If it kills your motivation for it, that means you probably don't want to do it
You
that
weren't meant
bad.
to do it, yeah.
And then you need to go find something that
Yeah.
you will enjoy and you will be good at.
Okay.
Find
Passionate
find
about
your
it. Yeah.
find your strength.
If it doesn't kill your
Yep.
motivation, then you're going to stay in there and you'll be like, I want to be like her. You're going to do better.
Try harder. It's going to
So,
inspire you.
yes.
Yeah, that's, I don't know. I do love my participation ribbons.
And that's fun. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I did 4-H a lot. And, like, I feel like that sucks that that's not more of a thing that they do in other states.
Yeah.
Because that's where, like,
Happens.
I get my skills for. Like, if you put, like, a nice crafty thing in front of me, I'll craft. I'm
Yeah.
a very good crafter. I mean, I can sew.
Well, then maybe you should
Do
go
all
be
that.
involved with 4-H and help
Oh,
them
man.
grow.
Man, but there was such a stigma involved with 4-H, you guys.
I could
People
feel-
used to
They
tease
think of it as
4-H
just like
kids.
a redneck thing.
Yeah, I always
Yeah,
think it's a
I
bunch.
used to-
I've always thought it was a bunch of farming
People used to
kids.
Yeah.
tease me. Like, even when I got to high school right away, I was like, oh, I can't be 4-H anymore. Oh my God,
I wouldn't have
no,
teased you.
not
I'd just
me.
assumed that you were a farm girl.
Oh, you're in 4-H. You ride
But
a
you were a
tractor to
nice kid,
school
Patrick.
too.
Not everybody
no,
was nice.
I was a
Awesome.
dick.
You weren't a dick to me. I don't, maybe because I was a girl. You
I
weren't
feel
a
like
dick to
somewhere
me in
out
high
there,
school.
There
a
you go.
feminist just died when you're like, I have awesome skills like how to sew and make crafts. Like I'm somewhere out there,
Feminist.
a feminist died.
I mean,
Oh my god. Okay.
she might have.
You were female. Do you know anything about the new,
I roller
new
derby
feminist
too.
culture?
There you go.
The third wave feminists, like the man
You
hating.
should have Emily here. She's not definitely a man hater, but she's pretty pro-feminist.
But I bet you she doesn't fall under like the category of like the newest generation of feminists. I bet she
man-hating.
falls
Because
into
now
like Gen
it's
1,
just,
Gen 2.
all there is are women, and then
they
there
all
are rapists.
lesbians?
That's all it is.
Are they all lesbians? Are these man haters just,
That's just a generalization that
okay.
people
Yeah.
throw out.
So
or do
I,
they have husbands and they're man haters? And how are their husbands treated?
I need to like I have an interesting position on the like not really on the topic. I'm pretty one-sided on it, but my sister is the head of Planned Parenthood for North Dakota, and she is a big time feminist. Big time.
She probably sees a lot of shitty shit.
Yeah. Yeah. But, so I try not to be too harsh on them, but it's, to me, I will fight for your equality for you as a woman, for you to have equal everything. But when their equality is in play, it has to be equal. Like if both of us sign up for the military, we better participate to the same exact level. Like, if I have to do 10 pull-ups, you should do 10 pull-ups.
It sucks that the option of being a nice housewife in a skirt is almost gone, though. On the other side, on the exact opposite side of feminism. Like, why don't I have that option anymore to be really good at folding clothes? Like, why is that not a thing that I can do? Like, why can't I strive to just take care of my kids?
There's a part of
and paint
me
paintings
inside
in my living
that just
room?
hears the feminists just screeching.
Yeah.
Not that, like, I don't
my
want
ears
my
are on
equal
fire.
rights. And, like, I would love to be a CEO and run my own business, but, like, I mean, what if one day I was, like, over it and just wanted to sit at home and give blowjobs to my husband for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and, like, cater to his every need because I love him so much that's my life.
Well, I'm not married. I haven't found someone like you yet.
After I'm a CEO and make all the money and, like, can I do both? Where did both come?
You can, but there's going to be a stigma because of
I
this
couldn't
current
afford
movement.
to anymore. My husband probably couldn't make enough money to support.
So he can be a stay-at-home daddy.
I mean, you know, it would just, that sucks that wouldn't be an option anymore even. Like, there's a lot of my girlfriends that would love to do that, but they don't get to see their husbands, even at night, like it used to be in the 40s and the 50s when they work from whatever to whatever. They're home at night for dinner and then they go.
Yeah.
Like, to make enough money to support a family like that nowadays,
Right.
they don't get to be
You
home
both
like
have to
that.
work.
You both have to work.
Yeah.
That's not something I could do.
My wife and I both work, and we still barely make enough money.
Yeah.
Right.
That sucks. That feminism has almost taken society almost to the point where it's like,
Nope.
I couldn't do that.
Right.
I have to work.
Quick draw.
No, I mean, what do you guys think is going to happen with it all, though?
Something bad.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that something's just gonna someone is gonna say or do something, and it's just gonna be bad.
Right.
It's not getting better.
It'll get a lot worse.
Yeah.
It's a lot better.
I feel like everybody in like the flyover states, like Middle America, sent up a signal flare, like a warning flare of it, with Trump getting elected.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, this guy just says a bunch of shit. Like, I like 80% of it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
I still don't understand why if they would have put Bernie in, like that would have been a running chance. I
Yeah,
don't know. They fucked
I would
up right
agree,
away.
actually. Yeah.
That was
That-
the first thing they fucked up on as far as Democrats go.
Mm-hmm.
They fucked up their candidate.
That is one of the
Bernie
biggest
was it.
arguments why the Democrats lost is because
That's why.
they shunned Bernie and they forced Hillary in.
Yeah,
And
I was pro Bernie.
Yeah,
I would have went Bernie. I didn't go Trump.
I voted third
Right.
party.
I did too.
I
wouldn't-
voted for Trump.
I voted Trump.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All day long.
Gary Johnson.
I think we just
Johnson,
hit
yeah.
well, except for the Gary Johnson, but we hit like the percentages. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, that's the thing with third party too, is you're pretty much throwing your vote in the garbage.
But that's
I
the thing.
wanted
I
to
didn't
get-
throw a fit and start picketing
Well, yeah,
because my
but-
candidate lost.
Yeah.
I feel like
No.
third parties should get the media coverage that the other two
Yeah.
do. They
Exactly.
don't. They don't get anything. Like
Mm-hmm.
they don't have enough money to do it, obviously. But
They should
at
be
the
an
same
option.
time, it's like you want to vote third party, you're probably not going to win.
Right.
You got to do what you want to do.
But here's another way that I looked at it too: is being in North Dakota. If I would have voted for anybody but Trump, I was throwing that vote away.
Well,
Yeah.
sure. That's
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
threw
but
mine away.
definitely Republicans.
And I will defend Trump until he does something over the line. But I did not believe in either one of the main two candidates, and that's why I voted Gary
And
Johnson.
I like
Yeah.
Gary Johnson, but I
Yeah. And
what was
honestly,
best for
if he could have got,
our
I think it was
state
like
and
2 more
everything
percent,
else.
he could have been in the presidential
I
debate.
think our state needs
Yeah.
to figure out how to not just be an oil-based state. I think we need to figure out a different economic anything to keep us going.
That's what we got agriculture for.
I would agree. Well, yeah, that's
well,
people
why
actually.
don't we start? Yeah,
People
but that's-
forget that is
Well,
That is
still
what,
embedded in
That
our-
is what's kept us afloat for years besides the oil field.
we get lectured on that all the time at the news station that we cannot forget that we are a farming state. I'm in.
But are we farming the right stuff? Because there's
Oh, yeah.
some.
We
There's
farm
some
what we
patch-
can. It's
there's
North
some-
Dakota. You get 3 months of summer and the rest of it's
Sure as
winter.
hell don't get to put orange trees up.
But
I mean, oil's
But no,
here,
no, like-
embrace it.
I think
Use
they
it
need
like
to.
you
I think they need to roll with the marijuana thing. I think they need
Yeah.
to start manufacturing hemp
Yeah,
into
absolutely.
products, not even just recreational stuff. They need to start building houses out of it.
Yeah.
Everything
Well,
plastic,
and-
dire.
You look at these states like Colorado, Washington, it's been, 4 years or 2 years since they passed it?
4 years?
Whenever the Seahawks and
It's gonna be 3
played
years
with the
coming up.
Broncos. So
Yeah.
3 or 4 years.
It's gonna be
Well, I
3
couldn't.
years.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if it got passed 2 years ago or 4 years ago.
January.
But either way, the growth in their economy is undeniable. Like $1 billion in Colorado, and they put a huge chunk of that towards their education system.
Yeah.
See, so this makes us kind of fall outside of staying into like the whole Trump's like campaign base. Well, like so he ran off of like giving the states the choice, but now the not the Secretary of State, I can't remember which one, but now they're considering actually going after the states that have legalized marijuana, like going back and shutting it all down. The federal government or the national government. Oops.
I think that'd be a mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and some of that money does go towards the federal government, right?
No,
The
the
na-
federal
yeah. Well,
government
no.
can't take it, can they? Because
No.
it's not legally.
Oh, yeah, I
legally
suppose.
federal law. The money
Well,
has to stay in the states.
okay. First, just one of my pet peeves, because I was guilty of saying it right there too. But so the federal government is your local, state, national. So the national government doesn't get any of that money because it's against the law on the national level.
So if they were to make it okay, they would probably get some of the revenue from it.
They would definitely.
Yeah.
People could put it in those kind of banks. You can't even put your
In-
money in a federal
Well,
bank. Can
actually, you know what? I think we might be wrong on that. I think that the national government does get money because of taxes, like your income tax. You have to pay income tax no matter what.
you? Yeah.
Yeah. So they're making some bank.
Exactly. Why, if all 50 states legalize
They
it,
could
can
make
you
two
imagine the
people happy
revenue?
right now, though? They're
Yeah.
making half the people happy, and they're probably like, if they want to, they can move there if they want to do that.
Yeah.
It's probably exactly what they're thinking. And then the conservative half of the people could be happy too.
You're very deep in thought, Logan.
I don't use marijuana, but I am all for it.
Yeah.
Just make it legal.
Yeah.
If it helps you, it helps you. We can do so much good with it.
No, yeah.
I just
Absolutely
even
legal.
think as far as an industrial thing.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I
There's
mean?
more
That's-
to it
you
than
can
just the
build
using.
Yeah.
homes out of it. We don't have to
Well, and
forest.
that's
We deforest things. We're killing ecosystems. And we could just have a crop here, like in our agricultural state.
Yeah.
We could grow a crop that could build homes.
Mm-hmm.
If we had a plant here, I keep hitting this thing, I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
If we had a plant here that could like do that sort of stuff.
I think here it'd have to be grown inside, though. You're not going to have
Yeah.
fields of it.
no.
growing
It
like
it grows in
California.
tropical temperatures.
You just have
But
to
that
be in
the paper industry is one of the biggest reasons why marijuana is illegal. Is they lobbied against it because of all of the uses for hemp.
Yeah. But like, all
Okay,
the
maybe not
uses.
necessarily paper industry, but I think it's
Water bottles,
Like,
plastics,
man, the
all
trees.
these chairs, everything could be made out of it. Our clothes, we
Yeah.
could get rid of all the plastic that's filling up landfills, and it would be biodegradable.
I don't know if you guys know this, but actually racism played a huge role.
Oh, yes,
in
yes.
weed becoming illegal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird. If you look up some of the old like advertisements
Like,
that were making
the old,
make
like-
weed illegal,
Yeah.
it's fucked.
Racist.
because black
no, it's-
people, they'd say
like,
black
it's-
people would smoke it and go rape people.
Yeah, like no, seriously,
Reefer Madness,
Have you
right?
have
It's
you ever
Reefer
seen
Madness.
any? Oh my god, I gotta find
It's
it.
No.
yeah, it is
They're pretty
insane.
cool.
Like it is absolutely insane.
It's
like
some
you'll
funny
look at
art.
it and you'll be like, what is wrong with the people back then?
Mexicans can, blacks can. No.
That's how it works, though.
Oh,
You just tell people
man.
shit without them
I
actually
identify as
knowing, and they
100%
believe it if it
Irish,
feels good and right in their heart.
Did you,
I think
what did
it's-
you,
Fear
did you,
tactic. That
what
is a
did you
fear
say,
tactic
Kasey?
right there to
Did you
scare
say that you
people
identify as Irish?
out of believing
I
something.
identify as 100% Irish, by the way. Don't let me in with African Americans. At least for this weekend till it's over.
Hey, the Irish were oppressed.
They were.
It was the same thing I did. I read something the other day. It was slavery.
They
Then
were
I guess that
oppressed
makes me a
crazy.
meat popsicle.
Here you go. Just scroll through these.
My favorite thing about that is when you look at how we are treating immigrants now, which honestly, like, I'm all for not letting a bunch of immigrants into our country. Like, I'm like,
I'm fine with letting people in, but they need to be vetted.
Well, and there needs to be a process to get into our country. But when you look at when there was the Irish potato famine and they were coming over here in droves, like how we treated people back then, it was terrible. Like if you came off the boat and you were from Ireland, like people are throwing stones at you. Go back home.
Probably why the Irish are known for being so hardened. Like, it's like they had to deal with all this bigoted shit, and then it's like whatever.
Yep.
We're here
And
now. What are you gonna do?
Now we celebrate St. Patrick's Day.
Well, and it's funny too because like, who are we to do that? We did that to Native Americans. We came in here and did the same thing to a different culture, and we're gonna throw stones at other people.
But we'll see. So like I have an issue with that though.
Great Britain did that all over the world.
Right.
Yeah.
True.
Yes,
Very
they
true.
did.
Very true.
We just
It's like
learned from
herpes.
where we
They
started.
did that
But
everywhere.
it wasn't like we like came here with like a massive army and like just like cleared the entire place out. We did bad shit to them, and they did really bad shit to us. Like,
We also
it was
bought a lot of
war.
the land too, just really cheap, like
For
stupid
beads.
cheap.
For
Yeah,
beads and-
like here's
So-
some shiny beads.
Snakes
Give me
and
all of this.
sparklers.
No, okay, so interesting. I know an interesting story there. That's how the island of Manhattan was purchased, was through beads. And the really funny part, though, is so you got to remember that the Native Americans would move around for hunting purposes. So the tribe that was in Manhattan, that wasn't even their island. Like,
they sold an island that wasn't
they're just
theirs.
like, yeah, okay, cool.
All of our friends come back home.
Yeah,
Whose was it?
another tribes.
And then we had to
Like-
fight the tribe off.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
had to keep them off Manhattan.
I imagine they're showing up like, what in the fuck? Who is
What
here?
happened? What
Where'd
happened?
you come from?
No
This
one
is
was
ours
watering
now.
the corn. All
we
the
bought
corn's
it.
dead.
Yeah,
These
all
guys
the
didn't
corn.
I
know
go
to take
hunting
care
and
of
I
it.
come back to this shit.
Yeah, yep. I mean,
Hey guys.
but we really it was a full on war that we had with the Native Americans, and we won.
I mean,
Like the United States is the spoils of war. I mean, I have family members that are Native American, and like, yeah, like it sucks what happened to those people, and what happened after that definitely shouldn't have happened. Like with what's happening on reservations right now, and what has happened in the past, I'm very against that. But
didn't they cut all of their funding and stuff with Obamacare? Didn't Obamacare do that?
no,
Someone came into the bar
no.
bitching the other day that like all of their medical and their stuff like that.
Oh
after
yeah, that
Obamacare,
actually could have. Yeah,
Yeah, when
There could be
Obamacare
some
was
truth to that.
implemented, he's like, then they had Obamacare. He's like, they taxed you guys, and then they cut my medical.
Yeah.
So they're taxing you guys for not having it, and then I don't get my medical stuff anymore.
Right.
He's like, that's not.
They don't get
fair.
it on the same level as what they were getting it before.
Because I know when
Yeah, he is pissed.
I don't like name dropping people
He's
that aren't
drunk,
here, but
but-
when Eddie left NOV, he wasn't sure what he's gonna do about insurance. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm Indian. Like I don't have to worry about it." So, but I don't know whatever came out of it after that. Like I don't know
He
if he
might
still
have
got
had
his
to
free
worry
because he
about
moved.
it.
He moved back to the reservation, so I mean,
He might have
he's
had to
where
worry.
he's in an area where he gets free coverage.
I wonder if that woman, if she identified as Native American, what people would do if she self-identified as Native
Well,
American.
she wouldn't be able to get the benefits because you actually have to provide documentation for that.
Yeah.
But
Maybe that's
she
what they.
identifies as it.
You have to
the facts
register.
don't matter. I mean, Kasey is Irish.
Yep.
I'm black now.
We can be whatever we want.
I like
to be,
Tupac.
Right?
No.
Still alive.
Right. But I still agree with you, Logan, on the whole, like everything is building up, and it seems like there's going to be one big thing that's going to change everything.
I just know it. It's gonna be. I don't know what it is. It's just gonna be bad.
And I feel like the distance that we have between like us on our day-to-day lives and our like government is growing, and that's not helping the
We
matter.
are marching headfirst into a civil war.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I thought it was going to kick off with the inauguration. I thought 100%.
There were protests and riots.
I thought 100% that was going to be when somebody either tried or successfully killed Trump.
Yeah.
And it would have just been
What-
a domino effect. But
What's going to happen is, with the rise of this social justice warrior culture, all it's going to take is the alt-right or just another group to come in there and start fighting against them, and that's going to be the start of it.
Yeah. Well, one thing I've thought of is like, what if the Democrats are successful in like outing Trump? I mean, like, what if they impeach him? I could see people rising up even just off of that.
it's a good thing the Democrats don't have guns.
Well, yeah, that's
right.
my favorite thing that I see on the internet is like the Democrats freaking starting all this issues and stuff. And they're like, you do realize the people you're talking about are the ones with all the guns, right?
Yeah. Well,
I don't understand it.
Oh, that would.
How
would
would
be
that
shitty.
how
I
would
don't-
that work in a civil war? Because you know it's going to be
it's
liberal versus
It's a one-sided fight.
Yeah.
Like, they're against guns. How are they going to fight?
It's going to be the...
Are they going to come in?
propaganda.
Are they going to come in fist fighting, and we're going to come in and just pop, pop, pop?
They'll have their safety pins. Don't
Yeah.
let them get close to
They're
them.
going to walk up and shank you with a safety pin.
I feel like I would, if I was them, I would just send someone in there with a nasty little disease and slowly infiltrate you guys and
biological
kill you guys
warfare.
with biological warfare.
So what
If I was planning it.
I think, okay, let's just say, like, worst case scenario doesn't happen, but this kind of civil chaos continues on, is that what we'll see is a formation of a group. Like, back in, like, the 1970s, there was a group called the Weather Underground. Have any of you guys heard of that
I've
group?
heard of that. I just
You've
haven't
talked
heard
to me
what
about
it is.
So back then, that was a militant, liberal, like, group in, like, a terrorist group inside of the United States. It was a hardcore left-leaning group that would blow shit up. They would blow buildings up. I mean, we don't learn about them, but no, like, that is what they actually participated in. That's actually one of the issues that why people don't like President Obama, is that one of his favorite professors was a known member of the Weather Underground. I mean, I think we'll start to see the liberals become militant. I mean, like, where they won't be against guns, and they'll have bombs. Like, they're
They're gonna have to if they're eventually gonna want. I feel like none of their views ever get heard, really.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, they don't.
Have you ever
like, how
watched-
frustrating would that be to, like, maybe just be like, give a little, you guys, just a little.
Have you ever watched a
Not a
video
lot.
of, like, a social justice warrior protest?
No, I've never. I don't.
It's unreal.
I don't do that. Is it bad?
You can't. Here's the reason why their opinions never get heard, is because as soon as you start to question their ideologies, they scream at you, start calling you a racist and a fascist and a Nazi.
So they need to find new leadership. That's their thing. That's where they're going wrong. Is they're
They
going
just
out
need a
the whole
different
thing
approach if
wrong.
they want to be
Yeah.
heard. You
Yeah.
can't just go to someone and say, you're wrong, F
Yeah.
you. And
No,
all
they
that.
need
I've even
to
seen it where, like,
be
they'll
grown
stand
up
up,
about it.
like, they'll go to these talks at universities, and instead of actually, like, trying to argue or have a counterpoint, like what Patrick said, they'll scream. Like, and I'm not talking like they'll have scream something where it's worthwhile. It's like they'll just scream. I'm not going to scream.
Do it. I could feel you like fighting it, like you wanted to make
Like
the
they'll just
example to
yell.
scream.
They'll just yell out like a noise and try to drown out what the other person is saying.
And a lot of us to get attention too. I mean, then they get thrown out and then go outside and talk about how they were so oppressed. And well, you're at a private function.
They're so woke.
Shouldn't do
They're
that.
so
They're
woke.
woke. Yeah, woke.
They're woke to all their friends. That's what it is.
Man.
I mean,
this whole country is just dividing itself. It's not someone dividing them.
so now this leads me into, like, honestly, if I ever run for a political office, this is what I'm going to campaign on, is that I am completely against our national government right now. Like, it does not matter Democrat or Republican, because both of them are wanting to strengthen the national government. And what I want to see is power return to the states.
Yeah.
That North Dakota needs to be operated somewhat in a different way than what California is, and Colorado, and that the states should be up to the states on how things are ran. Really,
For the last couple of years, there's been bills proposed to break California up because they're too big.
Yeah. We were even going to get another zip code or area code or what? Yeah, area
That's because
code.
of all people traveling
Yeah.
here for the oil.
have you guys heard about the new healthcare bill that just went through the House? That it's the revised version of Obamacare that the Republicans
The
introduced.
ones
They're
that the
not gonna
Democrats are
find
calling
me
Trump
anymore.
care.
Yeah.
Is Trump gonna find me?
But it was wrote by
It's-
Paul Ryan.
Yeah, Paul Ryan is a douchebag.
So Paul Ryan's gonna find me.
It's a different. They get rid of the fines. They
Was
do
he
get
the
rid of
guy
the fines.
talking about shouldn't have an iPhone that they were freaking out about, or is that a different guy?
I think
That
it
was
was
a different
yeah.
I know they took it out of context, but I just know everybody.
No,
He don't have an
it wasn't
iPhone?
out of context.
No,
He's just said it really fucking condescendingly.
You're talking. I think you're talking about. Is he talking about the head of the
interview-
FBI?
I don't know what the
Something
dude's
about
position
you
was, but
shouldn't be
he's
buying
like,
yourself
people need to
brand new
decide. You know,
iPhones.
do you really need that new iPhone,
Oh,
or do
yeah,
I
yeah,
need
yeah.
health care?
Yep. Yeah.
Like, just super
But-
fucking condescending.
So, like, my issue, I'm completely against this new healthcare bill for the sole reason of, yeah, it does get rid of the fines, and that's good, but we're gonna feel this one even harder than that one, because what it does is it kicks it down. It kicks it down to the states. It's called an unfunded mandate, where the national government says, "This is what we want. Here you go, states. Now you guys pay for it." And so now what they're going to have to do is tax the hell out of us to pay for the healthcare system. Like, it won't be just like an annual fine. It'll be a steady tax that we'll get hit with. And what it ends up being is that, like, the states then have to grovel back to the national government to get extra funding. So it's another thing that they have to beg the national government for to get funding. So it's just more power to that higher level.
What can they do to the state if the state just gives them the big middle finger and doesn't do it?
They have to. It's an unfunded mandate. They have to do that. It's happened before throughout history.
Why don't we just let people die that can't pay for their fucking health insurance? Like, is that an option? Can we not say that?
Man,
I mean,
but like,
I feel like if you can't afford it, you should get some help. But if you don't want it, you shouldn't have to get it.
Yeah.
Right.
No. Yeah.
But then if you don't have it and you knowingly
How are you gonna
don't
pay
want
for
it,
it?
if you sign off saying, I don't want this, but I've got cancer and I want someone else to pay for it. No.
Yep.
You know, if you can afford it, get it. If you can't and you don't want it, don't get it.
Yeah, there should at least be something to give you those people a hand.
Yep.
But if I knew I had cancer and I was like, I don't want it because someone else will pay for it, should
I
not
wish
be a
there
thing.
was an
Right.
insurance that not only covered like my deductibles, but literally just covered like, I'll pay $150 every single time I go to the doctor. I don't give a shit. But like when I break my leg, like it would be nice to have like I cover up to $5,000 and then you do the rest of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Guy
for
pays on
major
a paycheck,
surgeries, just
I
an
mean.
insurance for
Yeah.
major surgeries. I've never had a job once, you guys, that have offered me healthcare.
Really?
Ever in my life.
Wow.
Nope. Service industry, not shit. They don't
Yeah.
give me anything.
I've had
So-
2 surgeries and I still ended up paying $2,000 out of pocket on both of them.
I paid a lot for that motorcycle
And you
accident.
paid more than that $2,000 just paying for your health insurance over the years.
That's
too.
what I mean.
That's
what's
true.
stupid is you pay so much for it, then when you finally comes time to use it, it's not worth a damn.
Yeah, that's how it is with any insurance. You're going to pay them way more than you will ever use. Unless you were fucking accident prone.
Right.
I mean, I haven't been to the doctor.
I feel like I just
in
automatically
years
looked
for
at you,
me.
Logan, on that one.
Yeah, well, you know,
Yeah, you probably have gotten your money's worth out of your insurance.
absolutely.
No.
Bike, chopping off my finger, you know.
Wrecking motorcycles.
Have not
chopping
broken a
fingers.
bone yet.
How have you,
Wow.
you didn't break your bone when you smashed your finger?
No, they just they had to grind down the bone and fold the skin around it.
I like how your finger kind of looks like a mini spoon.
Do you use it as a spoon?
No.
You
Not,
could,
not for not no.
Did
no,
people
no, no,
did
no.
people take you seriously when you give them the middle finger?
Grab my strong hand.
Sometimes, but when I do it, it's far enough away where they can't tell it's messed up.
your middle finger looks like a Teletubby.
Yeah, well then I'll just
Hammer thumbs.
suplex city.
You know, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how everything goes. It is terrifying though to have that thought where something bad is going to happen.
Things are just gonna get worse, Paul. It's what it is. They're gonna get worse.
But that's so great. Because what happens when things get really, really shitty?
Everybody
They get
dies.
better.
They get better.
Yeah.
I cannot wait. I just hope I live.
How
see
far
the end of it.
how
I
far
wanna see
down
the great-
the shit rabbit hole
Yeah.
do we go? That's the
We're
thing.
gonna have
Like,
to go far.
But it might not get better is the thing.
It has to.
If the government has too much power, which they easily could right now, things could get really fucking bad really quick.
I think what we need to implement is like, what if like every like 20 years, the whole government done.
Gets
Not like
washed.
killed, but like, yes, you guys aren't in office anymore. You need people from the ages of 18 to 65. There has to be people of the ages that are 18, 19, 20. You need one person every single age
what
group
is- what is
to
it-
like put their opinion in there.
What is the average age of someone in Congress? Isn't it like in the 70s?
No. It's in the
Yeah,
it's the
40s,
high
50s,
it's
60s.
high 40s or early 50s, but it is the oldest Congress that we've had in history.
We need to stop that. That's our issues right now.
Yeah.
That's where all these feelings are coming from because they literally do not choose to understand anything else. And we see things so differently than them that
And then
there's no middle ground.
They're, for the lack of a better word, Old Testament. Everybody else is New Testament.
Yeah.
It's never going to see it.
Well, and it's going to be that way. If nothing changes, you're going to see that with our generation. We're going to do the same thing to the next generation.
But that's why I think really
Like
they should
that.
have,
That is the cycle.
why don't we, when we are in charge, why don't we have young people come in? And why don't we listen
Because
to
we're
them
in charge
and
then.
value
That's
them?
why,
It's our turn, bitches.
But that's true. When you give us the power, we're not going to change it.
I think seniority
we're going to
is
do the
bullshit.
same fucking thing.
But I think after a certain age, you shouldn't be able to vote either.
nah.
If you're 85, why do you get to pick what's going to happen when you're probably not going to live to see the next president?
You die.
know?
Yeah.
I'm not saying like cut it off at 60. I'm saying like 80.
Yep.
You shouldn't really.
Or at least just give them the ballot and don't turn it in.
Yeah.
See, like,
So they still feel special.
I mean, if you're voting for a guy at 80 that goes with your beliefs, that's just wrong, you know.
yeah.
And then he wins, he dies 3 years later, and the rest of the country's stuck with this bullshit.
Yeah.
That is just something I think at a certain age they should just, you know.
You hit something definitely on the head there, Danika, as far as like having a younger people in office, because you got to remember, like, back when we became the United States of America, people that were running the country were around our age.
Yeah.
Like some George Washington, like some like the A team, they were a little bit older, but like the rest of Congress and Senate, like a lot of them were right in our age group.
New
like,
ideas, inspired go-getters.
They
Like,
didn't
that's
until
the
they turned
thing.
dust.
Right,
That's the problem.
That's
Yeah.
what we are.
That's where we got the standard of you can run for governor for 100 years in a fucking row.
there's
We can't. You can't.
there's some talk, and they tried to do it in the early 90s, was put an amendment into the Constitution that would put term limits on your congressmen and senators.
They should all have.
Absolutely. You should not have people retiring from Congress at 70, 80 years old.
Yeah, the oldest, I think the oldest congressman right now is in his 90s, and he's been in office for like 50s, or no, like
He's probably a great
60
guy,
years.
But
The one that held the record for the longest term in office, when he died, his wife ran, and his wife was considerably younger. So like, we were talking like pushing 100 years almost.
and are they still paying these people too after they get out of the
Oh
office?
yeah, they get
See, that's
sweet.
the one thing
They
you
get
really need
sweet
to
deals.
stop.